Primetime, a pair of Pro Bowl quarterbacks face off in Philadelphia. One stands awfully tall. The other was in for a long day. A pair of games for the 49ers in the Meadowlands this season. A pair of identical performances. The same pair of teams that met for the NFC title game tangled again at RFK. A pair of AFC contenders dance in the Dome. A pair of fleet-footed freshmen take turns dancing in the end zone. A pair of Todds get the nod at the Coliseum. Got a pair of feet? Kick back. Get stoked for ESPN's NFL Primetime. Calm, cool, and collected for Week 3 of NFL Primetime. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and glad you could join us for the show. My usual compatriots are here, and I don't mean New England compatriots. I mean Tom Jackson and Robin Roberts. And again, some intriguing endings. Week 3 been a good start to the National Football League season. Very quickly, let's get you caught up on the late games around the NFL. The final at RFK, the Lions almost broke their lifetime losing streak in Washington. Not quite. Field goal sailed wide for 49 yards about a minute to go. Washington withstands the Lions 13-10. Highlights later. Now a final from Dallas. Big day for Michael Irvin. We'll show you. And the Cowboys have defeated the Phoenix Cardinals 31-10. The Miami Dolphins had a big first half, then coasted at Joe Robbie. They have defeated the Rams 26-10. The Steelers are out at San Diego, and Bill Cowher's Steelers look to go 3-0. Under 2 minutes to go now in that game, and the Steelers lead at the Murph 23-6. And with under 3 minutes to go, 2:35 remaining, the Cleveland Browns looking to surprise the Raiders, 28-13 at the Coliseum. The Raiders lose the fall to 0-3. We'll give you updates on those games and, of course, highlights of everything later on. Where shall we begin? Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we begin with a couple of the new coaches, new kids on the block, if you will. David Shula starting at 2-0 as coach of the Bengals. Mike Holmgren beginning as 0-2 as coach of the Green Bay Packers. But life isn't supposed to be this easy or this hard as they got together at the soon-to-be frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. David Shula looking to go 3-0, and I'll tell you why. His defense much improved. Of course, Tim Krumrie has always been a fine player. Here he sacks Don Mikowski. Meanwhile, a small fight breaks out. Mikowski is left writhing in pain, ligament damage, left ankle. He would leave the game and will be gone for a long while. So, when Magic comes out, his replacement, the youngster Brett Favre, they acquired from Atlanta. Favre hounded by the Bengal defense, Lamar Rogers with the sack. Then the rookie Darrell Williams, who's been impressive, the DB, forces the fumble with the Bengals recover. Even when Favre did get rid of the ball, he paid for it. Former 49er Daniel Stubbs nails him after the release, and Mike Holmgren said, wow, I mean, we're 0-2, we got to get going here. Who got going? The second-round draft pick of the Bengals. Carl was not slim pickings. 1, 2, 3. 4. What beat Green Bay tacklers? But let's get him go. He turns the corner. Don't tell me that from 95 yards away, he could go all the. Tim Houck, no way. Touchdown. 10-0, the Bengals. But the Packers playing his first game. Their #1 draft pick, Terrell Buckley. Don't tell me. This reminds me of Jim Thorpe. He's going to return it for a touchdown. Early in the fourth quarter, 58 yards. Yeah, I did it. Look, it's me. It's me. My first game, just like Dion did his first game. Buckley does his first game. 17-10 the Bengals. Now it's 20-17 Cincinnati. Leroy Butler did it to Eric Ball, the incomplete pass, and it forces the Bengals to punt. 3:20 to go. Could Terrell Buckley spin the magic again? He certainly gave it his best shot, but he giveth and he taketh away. Forget looking like Jim Thorpe. He looked like Chief Wild Eagle on this return. The Bengals recovered. So, up by 3, since he wants to kick insurance field goal with 1:10 to go. Jim steps into the breach, and he misses a 36-yarder. But, false start before the play. Even though it backs him up 5 yards, they get a break. They get another shot, this time a 41-yard field goal. And Breach, who won the game against the Raiders in overtime last week, it's good for 41 yards out. The Bengals lead 23-17, a minute to go. But Brett Favre, bottled up much of the afternoon by the Cincinnati defense, starts him out. From his own 13, under a minute to go, 41 yards to Sterling Sharp. Then with 19 seconds to go, Favre to the former 49er Kitzer Taylor. It's a touchdown. With just seconds left, the Pack is back. They lead 24-23. No longer undefeated is David Shula. What happened, Tommy?
The safety, Fernandez Benson, is late coming over, and Rod Jones from his corner spot gets well behind Taylor. Last-second completion.
And so the Packers. It took them 3 games, but they finally weaved some magic without the Magic Man. Brett Favre, the hero. The Pack over the Bengals, 24-23. And Tommy, you know, we have talked on game day and certainly in here on primetime that the Bengals' resurgence was due to their defense. They played pretty well for 59 minutes. What happened? How can they let them just go right up the field like almost the length of the field in a minute?
If I told you I don't know in this first half. But I think seriously, when you get into the last few seconds of a ball game, there's confusion that takes place in coverage at times, especially when you're trying to change your coverage at the line of scrimmage. You look here in the center of the field, the Bengals appear to be in man coverage. But right there, Rod Jones at his corner spot is still looking back to the quarterback, giving you the impression that he thinks it's zone. He's looking for safety help, but Vincent can only give that help late because he's trying to cover all over the football field. You make those kind of mistakes, and that's what happens when people try to play prevent. You're going to lose some ball games at the end.
What does prevent defense do?
It prevents you from winning ball games.
Well, that's what happened today to the Bengals. So Holmgren gets his first win, and David Shula gets his first loss. And I'll tell you what, we said it took the Pack a while to get going. How about their first 11 quarters? Actually 12 because they played an overtime game. 26 points. In the fourth quarter today, 21 points. They're catching on. That Holmgren offense. And Terrell Buckley returns punts every now and then. We've got plenty to show you, including...
To you by Dollar Rent-A-Car and your local travel agent.
What a great voice. Where do I get a voice like that? We'd like to welcome those of you that have watched the Steelers and the Chargers. Pittsburgh has won it. They're 3-0. The Chargers 0-3. Steelers win it 23-6. Highlights later on in primetime. Seahawks at the New England Patriots. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Not exactly vintage football. You know, the bad news involving this matchup, the Seahawks and the Patriots, they possess the 2 worst passing offenses in the NFL. Seattle is rated dead last in the league in total offense. Now for the good news involving this matchup. Someone was going to win for the first time this season. A tremendous day for football in Foxborough, well, weather-wise anyway. Early fourth, Seahawks leading 7-6. Scary moment. Vincent Brown, number 59, drills James Jones in the head. He is hurt. Andre Tipp of the Patriots very concerned as Brown was taken from the field on a stretcher. Not as serious as first thought. He jammed his neck. Late in the fourth, Seattle leading 10-6. Tom Flores decides to attempt a field goal on 4th and 1. John Casey nailed a 25-yarder earlier, misses from 33 yards. The Pats with a chance, and now for the drive. First play, Hugh Millen to Greg McMurtry. It goes for 24 yards. And Coach Nick McPherson, yeah, he's looking for someone to hit. Love that emotion. 2 plays later, Millen finds tight end Marv Cook for 5 yards. Then Millen hits Michael Timpson for 13 yards. The 5th play of the drive, Millen to Irving Fryer for the first down and 17 yards. Tom Flores a little bit concerned about what's going on. 6th play, Millen for Fryer. No. Patrick Hunter picks it off, ends a great comeback. Hunter said he knew it was coming because the Pats ran the play in the first half. Millen 17 of 27, including a 36-yard touchdown toss to Irving Fryer, but Millen tried to pull an Elway number, TJ, just didn't work.
Robin, you always see safeties helping corners. Here's a corner coming back to help the safety. Patrick Hunter helping Dietrich Dodge out of a bad situation, making the pick right at the goal line.
Coach Mack, he's bumming. Pats lose by a final of 10-6. Chris Warren carried the ball 24 times for 122 yards and a touchdown. Kelly Stauffer, 14 of 28, 116 yards. Hugh Millen was sacked 6 times. That's Seattle's 3rd straight win at Foxborough Stadium, but the first time for Tom Flores as the Seattle's head coach.
Well, so Tom gets off the schneid. And the New England's played one less game than everybody else, so.
Got on your...
Yes, this is it. This is it. This is my, well, what can you wear as a tie when the Vikings and the Buccaneers play each other? Here it is. And there's no question that NFC Central, well, 2 surprise teams, the Buccaneers and the Vikings. The Bucs beginning 2-0, and remember the Vikes under Dennis Green, undefeated preseason, finally playing their first home game of the regular season. But toughest task in this one, to finish what you started. We'll show you what we mean. Sam Weiss and the Clockwork Orange Buccaneers have lost 14 straight on the road. But not his Bucs. This is their first road game of his career there. Rich Gannon to Chris Carter, and what does he do, Tom?
He just catches touchdowns.
Yeah, why would you want a guy like that, Tom? All he does is catch touchdowns, 7-0. But Gannon gets crushed by Santana Dotson, the good-looking rookie, and Keith McCants. He leaves with a sprained right hand. He did not return. Not much better for Vinny Testaverde. Henry Thomas nails him. Bruised right forearm in the second quarter. Well, what do the X-ray shows? Shows that he can't come back. So, into the game, the oldest player in the NFL, Steve DeBerg. 7-3 Minnesota, but Berge, play action. Nice duck under Al Noga to Ron Hall for 12 yards. 2 plays later. Berge. And if you're a receiver and you wear single numbers, you know you're fast. Courtney Hawkins, number 5, 28-yard touchdown. And Tampa Bay leads it 10-7. DeBerg 8 for 8 in the first half. With Gannon out, for the first time throwing a pass in an NFL game in 5 years, Sean Salisbury's stake. But he is made stake right here by Santana Dotson and Broderick Thomas. Then, Dotson has 5.5 sacks already this year at the Tampa Bay Buccaneer rookie record. Breaks the old mark held by Leroy Selman. Rough first half for Salisbury, 4 of 9. But, second half, look at Sean Salisbury. He goes from cube steak to filet mignon, slicing between 3 defenders to Hassan Jones. Then, that would lead to a touchdown run by Terry Allen, a 4th and 3. Salisbury to Anthony Carter. Yes, both feet are in. 98 straight games with a catch for Carter. Then Chris Carter. Again, Tommy, what does he do?
Catching touchdowns.
Unbelievable. 21-13, the Vikes. With Minnesota up 26-13, the Buccaneers fight back. Nobody better at this, trailing by like 13, 14, or 15 points. It's the backdoor cover. DeBerg to Lawrence Dawsey. It's his second connection to the air for Dawsey. Touchdown, 26-20. The Bucs hold defensively, actually have a shot to win the game. But with 10 seconds to go, the Hail Mary caught by Mark Carrier. Time runs out. The feisty Buccaneers make it close. DeBerg was tough, but Dennis Green wins in his home opener, shaking hands with Sam Weiss. So 2 teams on the rise. Minnesota wins this one by the count of 26-20 as Salisbury 12 of 22 for 162 yards. Inside the numbers we go. And the Buccaneers at home had allowed less than 400 yards combined in their 2 wins and only 10 points. But on the road, where they lost their 15th straight game, they allowed 319 yards and 26 points. But the Bucs are 2-1 after 3. They'll take it. And yes, I'll wear this tie again when they play again. When we return, Hardy's Classic, rain and stuff held that up. Well, we'll go out there to Jim Kelly, find out who's leading this week's stop in the PGA Tour. Jim?
David Frost had made only 2 bogeys in 54 holes, but today, this is his 5th bogey of the day. 2 in a row, back-to-back at 14 and 15. His lead has been reduced to just 2 over Lauren Roberts. More coming up from the Hardy's Golf Classic.
And we'll keep you updated as prime time rolls on. Let's get back to football, shall we? The Saints and the Falcons, a pretty big rivalry. These southern teams in the NFC West. It's become a serious rivalry, and now it's become an all-indoor rivalry because this one was played inside the Georgia Dome in prime time, getting prime before the game. Tommy Barnhart punts, and you know the Saints were ready for prime time. He can't make, he tries one time, he goes right, left, then right, then Patrick Newman, what me worry, makes the tackle. On the same drive, the Falcons forced the punt. Scott Boyd and Toys in the attic, Cook blocks the punt. James Williams recovers. The Saints in business at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, here goes the drive. They want pay dirt. Dalton Hilliard, first down. Mo Gardner stops him at the 1. Second down. Mike Gann and Lou Riddick stop him. Then Ironhead Hayward stopped at the 1-foot line. Then 4th and goal, they go wide, but Hilliard stopped by Terry Ray. A great goal line stand for the Falcons at home. A minute left in the first half. Falcons driving. Chris Miller scrambling, sees a seam, 9 yards. Miller and Billy Joe Tolliver out on the field to say, nice going. Now, Billy, get out of there. Don't be a hero. Miller to Mike Pritchard. Touchdown. And the Falcons lead it 7-0 at the half. But in the third quarter, the Saints trying to go marching in. Bobby Hebert to Vaughn Dunbar. Ken Tippin stops him for a 3-yard loss. Second down. Chuck Smith deflects. Bobby Butler almost gets it. 3rd and goal from the 6. Well, then it's a penalty back to the 11. But Hebert to Quinn Early. touchdown. The Saints tie it at 7. Saints with a big second half last week. Could they do the same? 3:25 to go in the game. Swing pass to Ironhead. Rumpin', bumpin', stumpin' for 21 yards. Orton Anderson looking on the sideline.
Yeah, and Deion Sanders for all that quickness and speed. They got to cut by tackling.
Missed the tackle. Morton, you know he's got a gun. 47 yards. Less than 2 minutes to go. It's good. The Saints lead. Their rival Falcons 10-7. Can the Falcons pull it out? A minute to go, 3rd and 6. Miller to Pritchard, first down. 4th and 17, 39 seconds to go. Keith Taylor, Brett Maxey, intercepts. And the Saints hold on to win. But the Saints always win in Atlanta, and Atlanta always wins in New Orleans. Don't ask me to explain it, but the Saints win this one by the count of 10-7. Vaughn Dunbar, 16 carries for 85 yards, as the Saints, after an opening day loss, have come back with 2 wins, both engineered in the second half. The 49ers and the Jets. The 49ers with their second trip of the year to the Meadowlands, and earlier in the week, Bruce Coslett said, we're going to win for the Jets.
It's 1 win or 1 loss. It is not the make or break of the New York Jets. We're going to go out and win the damn game, though.
Except for one thing. The 49ers were coming off a loss. They couldn't afford to be 1-2, could they? Steve Young, way over 400 yards passing last week. Look at this. Ricky Waters hands to Jerry Rice, and then on the reverse, look at Young out in front, making a block for Jerry Rice. Young to John Taylor. A great grab, but his left leg sandwich, broken fibula, gone at least 6 weeks. So if Taylor is out, if you're Steve Young, Tommy, where do you think you're going to go?
Jerry Rice.
Good idea, good pass, good catch, 7-0 Niners. Bruce Coslett's offense couldn't get going because Tim Harris sacked Ken O'Brien not once, not twice, but he's going to do it 3 times.
And that's why the 49ers brought him there for the pass rush.
So they made him forget Charles Haley at least for 1 game. Coslett says, you know what? I'm going to go for it on 4th and 6. Back judge says that's very interesting, but with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter, you got to run a play better than this on 4th and 6. Blair Thomas, nothing, and the Niners take over on downs. So Jerry Rice is covered. What a story Mike Sherrard has been. This is it. 47 yards past the outstretched arm of Mike Prim. Then Young. Boy, he can run, and he doesn't shy from a collision if there is one. There really wasn't one. 10-yard run, 14-0, the Niners. O'Brien. Tipped by Merton Hanks. Larry Roberts, number 91, rumbling, before he's pulled down to the 32-yard line. What, says Bruce. Moria wants Roy Foster. Boom. Clear the way. And Young goes inside the 10, which sets up a pass to Jamie Williams. 8-yard touchdown, 24 Niners at the half. Remember last week at the Meadowlands, they wanted to leave at halftime? But Phil Simms, when the Giants were playing there, almost got them back even with the Cowboys. Would that happen against the 49ers? No. Tom Rathman with the block. 14-yard run by Steve Young. Ricky Waters. He's looked good, and now he has a touchdown to his credit in the NFL. 31-0 San Francisco. Waters, 17 carries, 55 yards. Got a penalty, and I'll tell you what, the Niners spanked the Jets. The final, San Francisco 31, the Jets 14. The Niners, you saw 31 points in all 3 of their games. They're now 2-1. And after the game, Bruce Coslett tried to explain what he meant earlier in the week.
Some of the local editors chose to guarantee a victory. I never said that. I said we were going to win. What was I supposed to say? We're going to lose?
But knowing O'Brien can't scramble, too well.
Yeah, but, I mean, we were...
Was that in the back of your mind?
No, it wasn't in the back of my mind. I mean, our main thing is just getting upfield, make sure we're bringing everything inside to make him sit in the pocket and get him once he's in the pocket. That's our main thing.
Yeah, and people, what was Bruce Coslett supposed to say? We're going to lose? No, but they were playing a 49er team, Tommy, that was 1-1 after the loss of the Buffalo Bills. And, I mean, let's face it, 1-2, they started that way last year, and they missed the playoffs. Wasn't going to happen again, was it?
No, Chris, we talk about this often when we're watching the games. The 49ers are a great team, and what they have is great killer instinct. When they play teams that they, quote-unquote, are supposed to beat, they finish them off early, they get them out of the contest, they leave those teams without a hope of winning the game. And another thing that has to be encouraging for the 49ers, Ricky Waters has given them their best consistency as a running back since Roger Craig.
You know, it's the San Francisco Giants that are moving out of Candlestick, perhaps. But if the Niners ever do that, they ought to play in the Meadowlands, because 2 games there this year against the Giants and Jets, they won both of them 31-14. The bad news for the Jets, they're 0-3. The good news for the Jets, the last team to start 0-3 and make the playoffs, 1981. Jets, Jets. However, in the last 11 years, it's the only team that's been able to do that. So it's a tall order, although they have a better schedule now the next 3 weeks and then a bye. Ricky Waters, 2 games as a collegian with Notre Dame against Virginia and Navy at the Meadowlands, and games against the Giants and Jets. 271 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and oh, by the way, they've won all 4 games, his teams, by a combined score of 150-72. We go from Ricky Waters to Andre Waters, making the Waters, who's winning the Hardee's Classic out in Coal Valley, Illinois. Let's check in again with Jim Kelly.
Earlier, David Frost with a 5-shot lead, but a bogey at 14, another at 15, bunkered with his second shot at 16. That for his par to stay 2 in front over Lauren Roberts. So 3 bogeys in a row since the 1.5-hour rain delay. And David Frost now just 1 shot in front in the final round. More coming up. Now back to Chris in Primetime.
Let's get back to the NFL, where the Denver Broncos, with a pretty good defense and a pretty good quarterback, went into Philadelphia with an outstanding defense and a pretty good quarterback as well. Elway against Cunningham, Denver D, Philly D. Who would come to the forefront? That's what we went to the vet to find out this afternoon. John Elway could sit back and admire one man, Randall Cunningham, showing all the tools today. John, what do you really think of Randall?
I think Randall Cunningham is probably the greatest, is the best athlete at the position in the league. And here's a guy that's really got it all.
He's got it all, but I'll tell you what, are you envious? Tommy asked him that. He had to wonder.
There's one thing that you could have that Randall Cunningham has. What would it be?
There's 2 things I want.
There you go.
I want his straight ahead speed, and I want it for about 6 more years.
Well, straight ahead speed, he got it all day. Look at Randall, tuck the ball under, run it 29 yards before the Broncos could track him down. Elway had more praise for Randall's
Even though he's got the straight ahead speed on me, I think we both got quickness within the pocket and can feel a rush and can get out of there.
And he's murder for linebackers. Look at him feel it. Dump it, Tommy, to keep fire.
Yeah, the thing that he does is he keeps his head up, and they both do until the last second so that they can see a place to release the football.
Here he hits Fred Barnett for 9. And then, of course, if somebody's not open, he can do it himself today. Randall 8 carries for 46 yards.
And once he takes off, people have to realize Randall Cunningham's running about a 4.5 40.
Well, it's no day at the beach to track him down, and that leaves Pat Beach open for 20 yards. But Randall can do more than scramble, right, John?
He's got a strong arm, but also throws the ball with a lot of touch.
Touch? You want touch? Look at this feather pass to Fred Barnett for 23 yards. Then Randall looking for pay dirt. Watch this. Zip. Beats Tyrone Braxton, 24-yard touchdown, 10-0 Eagles.
And the thing that makes this possible, what Herschel Walker has done the last couple of weeks, the play-action fake. The Broncos believe he might have the football.
And Williams was wide open for the touchdown. And then watch this. Zip. Looks so easy, so pretty. Fred Barnett touchdown, 17-0 Philadelphia at the half. Oh, yes, this just in. Philadelphia plays some D. They're thinking about their fallen teammate Jerome Brown. Andre Waters levels Mark Jackson. Waters flips Shannon Sharp. Reggie White, yeah, he knew where number 7 was. You can run, but you cannot hide from the minister. Clyde the Glide Simmons working against the young tackle Russell Freeman. On this play, a mismatch. Elway goes down. Eagles defense held the Broncos to just 82 yards, just 4 first downs. Elway threw for only 59 yards, but Randall, 3 touchdowns, 270 yards, 18 of 25. It was all Philadelphia, who registered a shutout early last year. Now they register a shutout early this year. 30-0. The Eagles all over the Broncos. And afterwards, Fred Barnett said they were fired up because the Broncos may have been doing some talking.
I think there was a lot of talk during the week from Braxton that really gave us a spark. He was mentioning how they had the best defense in the league. I'm quite sure he found out you just can't talk a game in the NFL now. You got to go out and play it too.
We just go out, we do our job. It's like construction, man. We go out, we have a job to do, we build a house, we get back to the sideline. The defense goes out, puts the electric in, they come back to the sideline. We go back out, we roof it, we come back. And I think that's our belief, is that we go out there, we do the job, we come back.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've constructed a 3-0 record. The Chiefs wanted to construct a 3-0 record in the House of Pain at Houston. A big matchup in the AFC. Opening kickoff from the veteran Nick Lowry. Corey Harris receiving for Houston. Fans not even in their seats. Harris receives it, and zip! He's right up the seam. Nick Lowry, you're not going to catch Corey Harris. Oh, those Ivy Leaguers, you can't flag down the kick returners, and it's a touchdown. But, Darrell Lewis holding on the play. No touchdown for Houston. So, now it's a defensive struggle. 3-3 second quarter. Marty Schottenheimer reaches in bag of tricks. Craig, word, Emil Harry, back to Craig. Bubba McDowell bearing down on him, but Craig gets rid of it to Emil Harry. 27 yards. That sets up Nick Lowry, who has the record of most over 50-yard field goals in the NFL. He had the record of 18, now it's 19. That 52-yarder makes it 6-3, Kansas City. Second quarter, the Oilers are driving. Warren Moon to Haywood Jeffries. Hit by Doug Terry, and it's a fumble. Kevin Ross, the veteran, recovers.
Doug Terry with a good hit on Haywood Jeffries, but the thing to watch here is Kevin Ross, and this is only a veteran can do this, Chris. Watch him dig this ball out once it's on the ground. You think Haywood Jeffries has it? He's had it, he has it. And says, give me that football.
You never did that, did you?
No.
That sets up the Chiefs driving. Craig, this is why they got him. He's a little mobile, more mobile than DeBerg last year to Emil Harry, 20 yards. Then, Craig, then Todd Barbara McNair. Is it mission impossible? They finally bring him down. Then Craig to Tim Barnett, out of bounds to stop the clock. 23 seconds to go in the half. Craig to Todd McNair, and I tell you what, the Chiefs in control. They're up 13-3 with just seconds to go. 19 seconds, but a squib kick. Marty kicked the ball deep. They don't, and they paid for it. Corey Harris, 42 yards on the return, and Dale Carter brings it down. So now they're in business. Moon, Curtis Duncan with one play, stays in bounds on a good catch.
This is great concentration by Duncan. Actually keeps his foot more than a yard in bounds.
And that sets up Al Del Greco from 44 yards out. It's good, but wait a minute. A holding penalty so the Chiefs gamble while they don't get hurt by it. Wrong! 54 yards, it's good, a career high. Instead of leading 13-3, it's 13-6 at the half. It would come back to haunt the Chiefs. Tied at 13, fourth quarter, 5 minutes to go. Lorenzo White spins for 6 tough yards. Then, move. Ernest Gibbons from Louisville. Touchdown. 21 yards, 20-13 Houston. Warren, 19 of 28 for 279 after a slow start. Chiefs get the ball back. And Craig to Todd McNair. They have word. They got Okoye. But if McNair was the largest, and was Fred Jones. 22-yard pickup. Craig to Fred Jones for 9 yards. Then, if you're not going to stop this play, we're going to run it up the gut. The draw to McNair. Minute 46 to go. You're not going to stop this play, we're going to run it up the gut. 8 more yards. 4th and 1, we better give it to the big guy, Barry. Never a discouraging word, first down. Craig flips to McNair, out of bounds to stop the clock. Minute 3 to go. Zip to Fred Jones. 34 seconds to go on the draw.
That's the Marty Schottenheimer we know.
You can't stop it, we're going to run it. Guess what? Another draw. It's a touchdown. And the Chiefs have ground out the tying touchdown, 20-20. We go to overtime. Chiefs win the toss. Craig to J.J. Burton. But he fumbles. The big guy, number 99, Doug Smith, falls on it. They run one play, and on second down, Al Del Greco from 38 yards. It's long enough. It's high enough. It's deep enough. It's good. It's good. The Oilers beat the Chiefs 23-20 in overtime after the fumble on the first possession. So Houston and the Chiefs each see their mark at 2-1 as Houston wins a big, big game despite 114 yards rushing from Barry Ward. And this is a game, even though now it's 3 in a row for Houston over the Chiefs, that Kansas City really had in hand for a while, and I think they got a little careless at the end of the first half. And although it was only a field goal, got them back to within a touch. And you know, the turnover was going to spell it at the end. But these two teams, we will hear from them both before the season's out. Let's go to the Eagles, who have made their statement loud and clear, and so is the quarterback, Mr. Cunningham.
Yeah, he was. Chris, when I talked with him this week, he said that Herschel Walker has been such an asset because he's taken pressure off him. The translation is that when Herschel is running the ball, as he has for 3 weeks, even though he didn't put up the big numbers today, when they run that play-action pass at you, people believe you're going to run the ball. Linebackers, even DBs, tend to come up. At that point, people come open. And the other thing is, I think that for Randall Cunningham fans, you certainly see that he's running as well as ever. For the other teams in the league, it's bad news because I think that he's getting more comfortable in the pocket.
And I'll tell you who wasn't comfortable and has been having trouble on offense, the Denver Broncos. Now, they got a pretty good quarterback. Do these Broncos remind you of a team from way back when?
70s.
Yeah? You think you knew that team quite well. So far, the Broncos in 3 games, although they're 2-1, have amassed just 28 first downs. Against them today, the Eagles had 20. They need more O. When we return, the NFC title game rematch. Lions and Sanders. Oh, my. The Redskins had to shut face-off. Same thing in San Diego. Bill Cowher against Bobby Ross. Again, 2-0, 0-2.
Yeah, big block, a lot of new kids, but a little bit difference between these two head coaches. Steelers off to the best start since '82, and it is Bill Cowher with a chance to do something that no other Steeler coach has ever done, not even the legendary Chuck Nolan. That is to become the first rookie coach ever for the Steelers to open up 3-0. Bobby Ross, he doesn't want to be greedy. He just wants to win for the first time as a new head coach for the Chargers. Barry Foster trying to become the first Steeler with 3 straight 100-yard games since Franco Harris in '83. He's stopped by Leslie O'Neal for a 3-yard loss. Then Junior Seau stops Foster, no gain. You know what? Defensive coordinator Bill Arnsparger's troops stuffed Foster all day long. Second quarter, Steelers up 7-3. Quarterback Stan Humphries is hit low by nose tackle Gerald Williams. Humphries had to leave the game with an injured ankle. Not that bad, though. He did return. Third quarter, Steelers up 7-6, an ugly sequence. 1st and 10 on the Chargers. Backup quarterback Bob Galliano throws to Ron Harmon for 6 yards. But the Chargers with an illegal chop penalty called on them. Next play, 1st and 20. Galliano's pass is incomplete, but pass interference called on Rod Woodson. Next play, 1st and 10 Chargers. Galliano intercepted by Greg Lloyd. He is off, and he returns it to the 25, where he promptly fumbles. Marion Butts recovers for the Chargers. 1st and 10, next play. Marion Butts, he runs for 9 yards, but holding called on the Chargers. 2 plays later, Galliano throws another interference call on Woodson, keeps the drive alive. 2 plays later, Butts up the middle. What is this? Another holding penalty on the Chargers. I told you this was an ugly sequence. Later, third quarter, Steelers ball. Neil O'Donnell dumps to Barry Foster. That's his 6th fumble of the season. Having a great year, but he just can't hang on to the ball. Gil Byrd recovers at the Steeler 38. This drive stalls John Carney. He misses a 30-yard field goal. Steelers take advantage. That's O'Donnell hitting Dwight Stone, a 6-yard touchdown strike. Steelers would go on to win by a final of 23-6. 3-0 start. First time that's happened since 1982. Now get this, the Steelers have not surrendered a point in the second half this season. Not bad at all. Elsewhere, would it be the Browns or the Raiders winning for the first time in '92? Todd Marinovich, he's now the man, getting advice from Jay Schrader. First quarter, Jeff Gossett into punt. He fumbles the snap. Stephen Moore picks up the loose ball, returns it to the Raider 13-yard line. Then the Browns, Todd Philcox to Eric Metcalf in the corner. 4-yard touchdown strike, 7-0 Browns, still in the first. 3rd and 2 for the Raiders. Marinovich, hit by David Brandon, fumbles the ball. Rob Burnett recovers for the Browns. Art Shell bumming. 2 plays later, Eric Metcalf sweeps right. 6 yards for the touchdown, 14-0 Browns. And Metcalf got some help, TJ.
Yeah, the rookie Tommy Vardell at the fullback spot doing everything he can to get him into the end zone, and look at him. That's a pancake on Dave Wayne.
Third quarter, 14-3 Browns. Todd Marinovich to Willie Galt. Nice grab. And he's going to take it all into the end zone from 25 yards out. 14-10 Browns. Todd Philcox to Eric Metcalf. You're not going to catch Metcalf. 69 yards for the touchdown. 21-13 Browns, but Metcalf not through in the fourth. That connection works again. Philcox to Metcalf. Oh, this one only goes for 63 yards this time. Metcalf with 4 touchdowns on the day, 28-13 at that point. The Browns win 28-16. As for the Raiders, still winless, 0-3, their worst start since 1986. The Raiders have lost 7 games in a row, including last year's playoff game. So they thought maybe, you know, putting Marinovich in instead of Schrader would help, but not the case.
David Humm next week. They play Monday night at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going on a limb. That's their move. As we go inside the numbers, our on a roll, Robin, 300-yard passers. Well, not a heavy list today. Marinovich did throw for almost 400 yards, but like Schrader, who threw for 380 last week, they didn't just win, baby. Chris Chandler will show you his effort in the Cardinals game against Dallas when we return.
Side, he's still on his feet, cuts back to the near side. He's got running room if he can break free, and he does. He's at the 20, at the 25, at the 30. Go, Carl, go!
Here, when the Lions went into RFK to play the Redskins. Now, the last Detroit win at the Skins, when they were the Boston Redskins in 1935. What I'm trying to tell you is Detroit 0-16 lifetime in the nation's capital. Could they make it one of 17 at RFK? You know the scene, so do they. Redskins right up the gut. First drive, touchdown, Ernest Biner capping up a 13-play drive, Tommy.
Yeah, this great blocking by the Hogs. First block you see is guard Mark Schlereth kicking out. Then Donnie Warren, the tight end, pinning down the corner. Ernest Biner going to the end zone untouched.
30 carries on the day for Biner, 120 yards. Trust me, that's what it was. Mark Rippon intercepted twice in the first half, but the Lions don't capitalize. Reggie Barrett drops what looked like a touchdown pass from Rodney Peete, and then Rodney Peete it's a Favre. And Wilbur Marshall picks up the football. The rookie Jason Hanson has made a 52-yard field goal, but another 52-yard shot, no good. You really can't expect to make all those, Wayne. But the Lions are down 10-3 at the half. Barry Sanders never gets on track. At just over 40 last year in the title game. Just had 23 yards today. Here's A.J. Johnson making the tackle. And boy, Richie Pettibone had them prepared to stop Barry Sanders. He had 34 yards today. Let's update it still. Let's set it up. Skins lead at 13-3, and Pete, the color of money is Willie Green. He could go all the way. 67 yards, 13-10. The Lions within 3.
Yeah, we'll pick up the play at the bottom of the screen. Willie Green runs a stop and a go. A.J. Johnson tries to grab him. Would have probably been better off trying to make that tackle if he could. Result is a touchdown.
So Johnson gets some advice from Darrell Green with 4:40 to go in the game. Melvin Jenkins with an interception. Wayne Fonts is fired up. Earlier, Blades had an interception. Trying to drive with 3 minutes to go. Pete. The dump to Mike Hinnant. First down. Minute 42 to go. And the rookie kicker from Washington State, Jason Hanson. 49-yard field goal. Nowhere near. And Rodney Peete and the Lions were game. Tell you what, the Skins did a good job of ball control, keeping the Lions off the field, except really for the interceptions. Lions had the ball only, 15 minutes in the first 3 quarters, and the Redskins wasn't pretty. Again, they struggled, but for the 17th straight time at RFK or in Washington, they beat the Lions by the count of 13-10. While the Redskins were winning, what would the Cowboys do? They've gotten off to a fast 2-0 start in the NFC East. Troy Aikman of the Cowboys, second play from scrimmage against the Cardinals to Michael Irvin. He shakes up Lorenzo Lynch, and he could go all the way. Yes, he does. It's an innocent-looking play, 87 yards, 7-0 Dallas. Chris Chandler starting for the injured Jim Rosenbaugh to Randall Hill. 34 yards, beats Larry Brown. Boom! A double off the wall. Cowboys return. Aikman to Irvin. 41 yards despite the good coverage. Touchdown. First quarter alone, 143 yards for Irvin. 14-7 Cowboys.
Yeah, Irvin gets open here by selling the cornerback on the inside pattern and breaking it back to the outside flag.
The other offensive weapon, oh, by the way, Emmitt Smith, who always kills the Cardinals. Here he runs for 22 yards on 3rd and 8. Look at the cutback. 16 yards, sets him up near the goal line.
Yeah, he leaps here from the 3-yard line. He's short, on his initial effort. But like all great running backs, the second effort gets him in.
Cowboys defense, Tony Tolbert introduces himself to Chris Chandler. It's a fumble. And that help sets up the Michael Irvin show from Aikman.
Yeah, Irvin with a catch and carry, Lorenzo Lynch and other Cardinals. He gets himself inside the 10-yard line. And you see Irvin in motion toward the top of the screen, coming back inside. He has great quickness for a man his size. Certainly enjoys playing the game. Here, great concentration, bobbles the pass initially, and then look at him block. And coaches love to see receivers do that.
So do quarterbacks like Troy Aikman. The Dallas Cowboys, 3-0 for the first time since '83, but as Dickens once wrote, the best of times and the worst of times. The Cowboys have won 8 straight regular season games. The Cardinals have dropped 11 straight regular season games. Last 4 meetings for the Cowboys against the Cardinals, total of 10 touchdowns for Emmitt Smith. He had one today. 31-20. The Cowboys 3-0. The Cards 0-3. All right, but we're not done, Robin. The Miami Dolphins, they had to wait while everybody else began.
Sure.
And it was probably well worth the wait. They finally got a home
little scary there
game.
in the fourth.
Yeah.
Got a little scary there, but yeah, they pulled it out. We're talking about the Rams and also the Dolphins, the 2 winningest active coaches in the NFL. Of course, Don Shula and Chuck Knox, 486 victories between them, the second highest total in NFL history to share a stadium. Dan the Man Marino, he knows a thing or two about winning some ball games, and he didn't waste any time in this one. As we go to the highlights of this, is in the first play of the game, he finds Dan the Man, he finds Pharrell Edmonds for the first down. Then in the same drive, Marino hits Tony Martin on the slant, another first down. Still going, Mark Duper on the sideline. Yeah, another first down. Marino spreading the wealth, finds Tony Page out of the backfield, another first down. Still the first drive, Marino with the bootleg right, finds Edmonds for the 1-yard score, TJ.
Yeah, Kevin Green reminding Marino that it is a contact sport.
He's not too impressed with a little wink there. Yeah, I know what you're doing, buddy. Mark Clayton injured, but words of advice. And Mark Duper certainly did listen. He cuts down the sideline. Marino hits him for the 38-yard score. Miami on top 14-0, TJ.
Yeah, and you see Duper here, bottom of the screen. Quick stop and go. That gets him free. Darrell Henley never can catch up.
Nope, not that way. Marino not finished yet. Second quarter. Hits yet another receiver, Fred Banks. And that completion, folks, moves Marino past Johnny Unitas into 4th place on the all-time completion list. Dan, he's not exactly perfect. He hits the official, Bob Wagner, in the head. Refs are they're tough. Wagner stayed in. You got to play hurt sometimes. That was only one of the few mistakes that Marino made as the Dolphins go on for a relatively easy victory. 26-10 is the final. Dolphins are now 9-0 at Joe Robbie Stadium against the NFC. And we're not finished here on Primetime. We've got the Primetime players coming up next.
Let's hope they will be there next year. That editorial comment. While we move along to Primetime players.
Cunningham straight back. He's looking. He's going deep for Barnett, who has it for a touchdown! Cunningham, the Arkansas Fred, and this crowd has exploded. Cunningham makes the deep snap. He's back. He fires. Complete to Calvin Williams at the 30, 25-20. He's going to go!
Bill Cox, 3-step drop, looking right, throwing right on the slant into Metcalf at the 50, and he's gone. Eric Metcalf is gone for a Cleveland Browns touchdown.